Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Card Audit webinar. If you can hear me, please raise your hand. All right. I see several hands going up. Perfect. All right, Naveen, would you mind please muting because I do hear a little bit of an echo.
Sure, I'll do that.
All right. So I'm Laura McNeely. I've been supporting Ultriva for more than 6 years. Joining me is Naveen Gautamakala. He's been supporting Ultriva for more than 10 years, and he will probably mute and unmute occasionally throughout the webinar. And if you have a question, please use the question box here on your GoToMeeting panel. There's where you can type in your question. If I do ask about raising your hand, here's where you can find that little raise your hand icon on the control panel in case you weren't able to find that earlier. We will be recording the webinar. In fact, we are recording it right now. And we will have that available on that help site for viewing in the future. Our next webinar is going to be same thing, third Thursday of August at noon Central. We are doing these demos in version 6.7 or higher. And today we are here to go over the card audit, what it's used for, and we will go through an example.
I think it's 7.6 or higher, right?
Oh yeah, sorry, said the wrong thing there. Thank you. All right, today we will go over the card audit, what it's used for. We will walk through an example of that, and we are going to have a couple of short survey questions, and we will give you the results of those as well. So what is the card audit? So it's used to take an inventory of a location in your plant or work center, and then compare those cards that you scanned to the cards that were on hand in Ultriva. And if you're not using location codes, that's fine. Because if you do not enter a location code, Ultriva is going to assume everything within that particular plant or everything within that particular work center, whichever one you have chosen. And there is a requirement. So if you are using scanners today in your plant to do like scan release, scan receive, that sort of thing, please raise your hand for me. All right, I see some hands going up. Very good, very good. Because one of the requirements for doing the card audit is you will need a scanner that does have access to Ultriva. And with that, we are now ready for poll question number 1. So Naveen, if you can launch that poll question, that's good. All right, so how familiar are you with the whole card audit feature? Maybe you're using it right now, maybe you're not. So it's I see several people submitting their votes. We still have some coming in. We'll keep it open here for another few seconds. Wow, looks like almost everybody's voted here. So I think we can go ahead and close that. And share those results. And it looks like a few people are familiar with it, use it quite often, and looks like more than half of us aren't familiar at all, and we're kind of going to go through this example here. And hopefully everybody will learn something in the process. All right, so we can go ahead and hide that. All right, so first off, on your scanner, when you log in, all you need to do is search for the card audit, make sure that you have access to that. I am a plant admin, so I do have a lot of different types of scans that I can do. So yours might not have all of these options. So after you select the card audit, you would then choose the Start Audit. Then you select your work center or your plant, whichever one you're doing. And then if you have locations and you're only going to do a particular location code, you enter that as well and submit that. And then it takes you to the prompt where you're ready to scan your first card ID, and then you just start scanning. And after you scan that first one, you're going to get the message that it was, hopefully successfully scanned, or, it could be another message depending on, if it was that card was not supposed to be in that location or something. If you're doing a large location, or you're doing, a big portion of your plant, if you've got 3,000 cards or 5,000 cards, one scanner might not do it. It's going to take, hours to do that with just one scanner. So after you have one scan completed, someone else can go to another scanner, and they can enter in the exact same work center that you've just done and the exact same location code. And once they have done that, they're going to get a message that pops up that, hey, somebody's already started a scan audit for this particular work center in this location. Do you want to join with that batch? So that everything's going to be combined. So you just say, yes, you do. And then now, boom, you've got 2 scanners that can go around and scan. And, you could continue to add, if you needed to have 3 or more people scanning as well. So then you just kind of go through and do all your scans. Once you are done, someone just needs to do the end audit. And then once you click on that end audit, at that point, that's where you can go in, log into Ultriva, you go into reports, and select that on-hand summary report. And that's going to show you, at least right here, it's going to show you the cards that were on hand that Ultriva thought was on hand. So, these were the good ones. Then the next section here for cards on hand, no, these are going to be the cards that were scanned in that location that don't really belong in that location. Maybe the card hasn't been, somebody failed to receive that card, but yet it's on hand, and it's on hand because you scanned it. Or it could be you have more than one barcode on your box, more than the card ID, and somebody just maybe picked up the quantity that's on the barcode, or something else on the barcode. That would show up here as a bad scan in this column as well. And next we have the cards that were not scanned in Ultriva, not scanned, but Ultriva says that you should have them on hand. And these are things that you might need to actually find, and if you don't find them, then you need to release those cards to the supplier, because probably more than 90% of the time it's going to be somebody just forgot to scan the card to release it after they used up the materials. And these are all clickable, of course, to get all of the detailed information, and we will go through that here in just a moment on the demo. And hey, we are ready for that demo. All right, so first off here, I'll pretend like we have 2 scanners, but we will start with the one scanner here. So we'll start over here with this scanner. So I'll look for the card audit. We will start our audit, and we choose our plant or work center code that we're doing. And I'm going to audit location code 50-1. We'll go ahead and submit that. All right, and so now we are ready for our first scan. And we just scan that. And hey, that one was successfully scanned. So we have a scan in there. So now if we wanted to add another scanner, we can do that. We do our card audit. Start audit. We choose the exact same thing that we chose just a moment ago, location code 50-1, and we submit that. Yep, sure enough, we get that message. Somebody else has already started one. Do we want to join up with them? Yes, we do. All right, so we are ready to scan now here on our second scanner. And let's say somebody here on our second scanner, let's say we scan something here, and whoop, okay, so looks like we found this card, but this card is not in location 50-1. All right, so with that we can continue. So that's probably something that's going to show on our report. So we'll go ahead and we'll scan some more here. And we'll scan several. And that was successful. Okay. All right. So I got somebody scanning over here. So so this card we just now scanned. So what if by accident this other person didn't know that this person had scanned this one, or maybe someone had interrupted interrupted the flow here. Somebody came by to say, "Hey, Joe, do you know where this is?" Hey, I'm not sure where it is, and then maybe Joe doesn't quite remember where he left off or something. But if you do scan something a second time, it will tell you. It'll let you know that it's already been scanned. All right, so we can scan a few more here. And let's see here. Scan this one. All right. Okay. So what if somebody ends up scanning a bad barcode? Maybe this is a quantity or a PO number or something. You're going to get a message for invalid checksum there. All right. We're going to have a couple more things here we'll scan. Oh, okay. This card's not on hand. Okay. So that might be something we'll need to look at too. And we got one last one here that we can scan. This card isn't on hand either. All right, so let's say we've scanned everything, and we know we're all done here with the scanning, so we're ready to just select End Audit. And it does let me know everybody, somebody else is connected to this. Do we really want to end the audit? So, if somebody did this by accident, they could answer no. But yeah, we know we're done now, so we'll go ahead and click yes. All right, and we'll just go ahead and do End Audit here and log out as well. All right, Naveen, is there something that you need to add?
Nothing right now.
Okay. All right. All right. So I'll go ahead and log out. I'll close this one up. We'll log back in. So now we're ready to log in as ourselves here, and we will go to we'll go to the report. All right, so we go to reports, and we go to our audit on-hand summary. This is what we are looking for, and we will put in today for our date range. All right, so here is what we have. We've got several things on here. We can click Show Differences. Okay, so this kind of shows us our good scans, bad scans, and stuff that we didn't scan. All right, and now we will click on the on-hand yes. So these are the cards that we scanned that we said were on hand, that we think is on hand, and so these are all of our good stuff. And you can see it does let us know who was logged into the scanner, so you can see how many scans each person did. All right, we'll go back to summary. So now here's where we got a few troubleshooting things that kind of come in. I'm going to click this on hand no column. So these are things that we might want to investigate to see what was going on. And so the first one here, we know this was just kind of a bad scan. Yeah, of course, it's an invalid barcode. We can just ignore that. Okay. So this next one, our status was card not found in that location. So we were doing 50-1. So if we need to, we can look to see where this card actually is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to right-click the Home button. I'm going to say Open in New Tab, so I can kind of keep this open and help do our troubleshooting. And we'll come over here and do our troubleshooting. So raise your hand if you knew about this Open in New Tab feature. All right, I see some hands going up. Very good, very good. All right, so what we're going to do here, I'm going to just down here in the search box, I'm going to put in this card ID, and we'll do a search for it, and we'll see where this is. So, yep, okay, so this one really should be on hand. You know, we did scan it as on hand, but our location code is 50-2. So, you know, maybe this one is maybe misplaced in our plant. So I don't know if somebody needs to move it or if maybe we just need to change our location code here. Just, you know, whatever is the most appropriate action for you, you can do that here in Ultriva. So our next one, it says it was already scanned. You know, it could be that somebody forgot where they left off, maybe scanned it twice or something. Or it could be, you know, maybe your supplier ended up putting the same label on a couple of boxes. So, you know, you can, you know, just play that by ear if you want to go out and double check to see what was happening with that. But these last two, let's maybe have a look to see what's going on with them. So we will do a search here for this one. All right, so it says this one is in transit, so let's check a couple of things. This says we're on cycle number 2. Let's see what the cycle number of the label is that we scanned. So in case you weren't aware, this is our card our card number. This is our cycle number, so how many times it's completed the loop in Ultriva. And this is our checksum, or our check digit. And that changes, you know, depending on which cycle it's on. So this is cycle number 2 as the label that we scanned. This is on cycle number 2. It is in transit. We did scan it as on hand, so it looks like this one came in and somebody just missed receiving this particular box. So the way to resolve this one is we just go to Actions, Receive. And, you know, you find I only have one card to receive. I'm sure that's probably not going to be the case for you. But, you know, if you had more cards, you could search for the particular card ID or, you know, change your filter and look for the particular item that you need to receive and receive this one card. All right. I'm not going to do that. We'll continue on with our troubleshooting here down the list. So let's take this particular card here, the next one on our list, and we will do a search here for that. And here is our card. So it does say that this one's in process, meaning it's released to the supplier. Let's double check our cycle numbers here. So this one says cycle number 6. And it looks like right here, this is cycle number 5, in case you can't see that very well. This is a 5. And so what that means is maybe it could be a couple things. It could be someone probably accidentally released this card. They maybe released the wrong one. So there are a couple things that you could do in this case. One option being, since it is in process with the supplier, you know, if it's not too far into their process, you know, one of the things you could do is recall, you know, talk to them and recall this card to get it back on hand. And once you do recall it, since this is cycle number 6 and your label is cycle number 5, you will need to, once you recall that, print a new label. So that's one way of handling it. Another thing, another thing you could do is you could create a non-replenishment card that's on hand with 0 cycles, just to account for the inventory on this one. And then you just print this new, you know, the label for your new NRK card, non-replenishment card, and put it on the box. So several different options, you know, depending on, you know, what works easiest for you or best for you. And who knows, there's probably a third option out there too. So that is kind of it for our, for this one. We've kind of investigated a few things here. The next option that we have here is not scanned. It looks like there's one thing that belongs in location code 50-1 that we did not scan. So you could send somebody back to, maybe look to see if they can find this. But again, probably 90% of the time what has happened is, it could be somebody forgot to scan and release the card. And, the box is probably already gone anyway. So the way to resolve this one, in most cases, is probably just going to be, finding your card ID, going here to Actions Release, and actually finding that and then releasing this card to your supplier. Actually, that's probably, I didn't do that on our screen here. All right, I guess I didn't show you the total scanned. It's kind of or maybe I did. If we click on that, it does show us everything. And one thing to point out that might come in handy as well, on all of these screens, when we clicked these, there is the export button or the print button. So you can easily export these to Excel or print these and then take them around and split it up between various people to if you need help with them. Okay, let's see. Naveen, how are we doing on questions? Anything come in that we need to go over? All right. I'll maybe take his silence as a no.
No, not very many, but one thing people were asking is they could have like physically the same card with different cycles, but in Ultriva you'll have only the latest cycle. And what would happen if when you're physically scanning, you scan the old cycle card and new cycle card, and I think based on the demo we will show for the old cycle not on hand, and the current cycle we will show on hand.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Let's see. I think one other thing, in case you do not have scanners, but you still want to do maybe.
One more thing, Laurie.
Yeah, sure.
Did you talk about print and export? Because I was answering questions. I was not.
I did. Yes, I snuck that in there.
Okay, good.
All right, so I don't know how many of you are familiar with all of the Excel reports. So in case you don't quite have a scanner that you could do this for, but you still maybe want to do a small, kind of a particular location or something, reports, Excel reports, there's a card audit here. And so what you could do is put in, like your particular location code. I was doing location code 50-1. And I could change the status here to everything that's on hand in 50-1, and do a show report here that will open up in just a moment here in Excel. At least I'm hoping it will. All right, here it goes. All right. So you can still get a list of what's in that location code. You have your your card IDs here, and we also have the release ID. So this is everything that's supposed to be in that section. So if you wanted to, you could go out and do a do a little make little check boxes and go out and find the cards in the particular location. So that's kind of an alternate way to look, maybe do a matchup to see what's on, what you think you have is on hand versus what really is on hand here. So let's see. I think that's about all that we have for now. We will get into some bonus material. We have a little more time. We have some bonus material coming up. I think we are ready for our next poll question. And all right, so now that you've kind of seen this card audit feature, do you plan on looking further into it? And maybe not necessarily you. It's kind of doing you in the generic sense. You maybe want to notify the plant supervisor about it. Right, we see several votes coming in. Oh, looks like most people have voted. We'll give it a few more seconds here. All right. Ooh, wow. I think almost everyone has voted. All right, so I think we can go ahead and close that. And here are the results. All right, looks like a lot of people are pretty interested in using this. Very good. All right. Okay, I will go ahead and hide this, and we will jump in with our bonus material. So we have been working on some additional documentation here. So I'm going to click the Help button here. So how many of you know about the Help button? Go ahead and raise your hand there. All right, I see several people raising their hands, knowing all about this Help button. All right, so once you click the Help there in Ultriva, our Help portal opens up, and I've created a new section here right above the release notes. It's called How Do I? And so this is kind of the How Do I documentation. So over the last several months, if we've gotten a ticket that says, hey, how do I disable an item? How do I change my password? Then we have come up with these guides. This is certainly not all-inclusive yet. We have several that we're going to be adding here in the coming weeks. And right now the supplier documentation is blank. We'll be adding some more there as well. And as a note, we're going to make a few cosmetic changes to some of these that are already out there. But these are the ones that we have, and I'll go ahead and I'll click this how to disable an item. The guide comes up here in Adobe Reader here in your browser. You can zoom in and zoom out by clicking the little minus and the plus sign here. You can save or print. This one's, most of these are fairly short. This one's kind of a 9-page one because disabling an item, is maybe a little bit more involved. The table of contents on these is clickable. So really, when you disable an item, first thing you want to do is check the state of the cards, because we do have some important tips throughout. Really, all these cards, all your cards must be on hand before you can disable an item. So you need to check that. And then, if you do have, if everything's not on hand, you might need to recall some of your cards. We have the instructions for that. And then you're finally ready to disable that item. And again, we have these step-by-step, with the arrows pointing to how you can disable an item. So with that, we'll go back and, hey, let's say you accidentally disabled it. Ooh, what do I need to do to enable it? So we have the enable here. Same sort of thing. We can click that to immediately drop us down, and it walks you through step by step how to enable your item. And again, a very important tip: once you enable something, you're going to have to associate your suppliers again, and you're going to need to create your cards. So these are the guides that we have been working on. I think when we were at the customer conference, we said, this is coming soon. So this is what we have, and we will be adding quite a few more within the coming weeks. And if there is something on here that you do not see, that you would like a guide for how to do that, certainly please pass along that information to me. Hey, can you create a quick little guide on how to do this? Or you know, if you see something that might need to be changed, or you know, something, hey, you might want to add this little tip to this as well, because this is what I ran into. Certainly, please pass along any comments, questions that you have about the documentation. And if you have any future webinar topics that you might want us to cover, you know, these are for you. Certainly, please pass along your suggestions for that as well. And other than that, Naveen, do we have anything else?
I don't have anything else to add.
Okay, all right. I think that is all that we have for today. So thank you all for spending part of your day with us, and we look forward to hearing from you in the future and catching up with you next month at the next webinar. Thank you.